Welcome. Welcome to the Pathway to the Windows of Our Heart and Mind podcast. My name is Wendy Zolendo. This episode is inspired by the concept of letting go. A beautiful concept, right? Letting go. So, first of all, the content of today's recorded podcast is not intended to be a substitute for medical advice. It is based on my 20 years of professional and personal experiences with life coaching, cognitive behavioral coaching, and emotional intelligence coaching. You are welcome to visit my company's website at lendoconsulting.com to learn more about my services. Well, I have 4 questions as the approach to share my perspective for the concept of letting go. And the questions are: 1, what do I believe it will require for a person to let go in the face of fear? 2, why is it important to learn the process of letting go? 3, what will it take for a person to approach letting go? And last question, what will I consider as some of the basic steps to forgiveness and letting go? 4 questions, all right? Okay, let's start with the first question. What do I believe it will require for a person to let go in the face of fear? So my best approach to this question is through the following 2 questions, okay? A question requires 2 questions, okay? Question 1, what does it mean to let go? Last one, why do we experience fear when it comes to the process of letting go? So what does it mean to let go? From my experience, letting go is my ability to improve the effort and in for me to climb to adversity and create harmony in my life. 2 is my ability to step out of my comfort zone, right? To eliminate the energy patterns that keep guilt, shame, and fear from remaining the dominating force in my life. 3, letting go is my ability to bring healing to the wounded parts of my being. And I do this by bringing my actions into alignment with the things that are more conducive to self-care, as well as self-empowerment. Lastly, letting go. It's my ability to act from the awareness that I am 100% the source of my reality. And that I can improve my emotional intelligence quotient to get in the game of life from an objective reality. So with that brings us to the question, why do we experience fear when it comes to the process of letting go? My friends, I trust you will agree. The ego is at times that little voice, you see that little voice in the back of our head, giving us all the reasons why we should not do this or letting go of the old wounds. Second, come on, think about it, the ego. See, it operates in the emotional comfort zone of the mind. You know that. And mostly where the emotional wounds data resides. Yes, creating false beliefs. Third, the ego. Come on, you know the ego. It will do anything in its power to keep us there. And yes, it will use fear to keep us shackled by old emotional aches and false beliefs like fear, despair, dismay, defect, self-shame, self-humiliation, self-criticism, and more. Yes, the ego. Lastly, I know you know this, listeners. Efforts to let go of old wounds collide with these false beliefs and affect the outcome of our actions to become the healthiest possible version of self. So therefore, I hope by now you realize it is crucial that we will fill our mind with thoughts of fearlessness, courage, build our confidence, and identify any beliefs, any thoughts that could stir us away from learning the process of letting go. Okay? So this is what this brings us to the question, why is it important to learn the process of letting go? For me, I don't know about you guys, this is one of the critical questions to ask when approaching letting go. Why is it important to learn the process of letting go? It is critical. First, from where I stand, from where I sit here sharing this with you, letting go or not letting go, let me be exact, not letting go or refuse to let go is resistance to what we do not want and attracting more of whatever we are resisting. You see? Second, refusing to let go. Guess what happened? This will keep us away from self-acceptance, inner peace, and we will become unreceptive to self-care, fulfillment, and harmony. Lastly, friends, it is important to learn the process of letting go. The process, because why? It is about freeing ourselves from emotional pain. That's the only way for us to reduce the ego's control over us. Yes, letting go liberates the mind. Yes, it liberates the mind from constantly experiencing the emotional pain from the past. There it also eliminates, of course, unhealthy guilt, shame, fear from remaining the dominating force in our being. So, yes, the process of letting go cannot happen unless we are willing to commit ourselves to make it happen. You're absolutely right. It is a process that requires a radical approach to let go, in a conscious effort to free our mind. It also requires us to realize that we are only humans, and we must believe that our life matters. A life where we become the healthiest possible version of ourselves. And number two, improve the quality of our own life, achieve optimal health, success, and personal freedom. Yes. This is where we can experience deeper connection to the core of our essence. This is where we can successfully climb to adversity and live a life of creative courage and maximize our chances for success. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, we want to cut our ties to the emotional pain from the past. But it is important to note, if we choose not to do the work, that is required to successfully let it go. Yes, our emotional wounds, the old ones, and false beliefs will give us permission to overreact, repress our honest feelings, be overly defensive and confrontational. Yes, we will also resist change. That means transformational change. Yes, we will maintain a consistent relationship with anger, yes, sadness, bitterness, selective visibility, and more suffering. Ladies and gentlemen, I trust by now we can see why it is important for us to do what we must to successfully approach letting go. So the question remains, what would it take for a person to approach letting go? Ladies and gentlemen, before I can offer my perspective to that question, I would love to say approaching letting go is simple and easy to do. It may be simple, my ladies and gentlemen, but it is not easy. You and I know that. Especially when we have not reduced the ego's control over us. Yes, the ego. You know, it is the master of the shoot, correct? You know that. This ego thing, he's a trickster that wants to bring up unforgiving memories and negative emotions such as anger, rage, resentment, jealousy. Yes, we can only do that by creating an unwavering commitment. Yes, do what? Letting go. Letting go can only be done by creating an unwavering commitment, a commitment that is constant and steadfast before we can begin even doing the work to approach letting go. So with this commitment, we will have the ability to accept that our life matters. That is, two, one, invest in ourselves and acquire the required skills to embrace our position with regards to keeping the ego under control. Two, you see, with creative courage, no, I'm just talking about courage, but creative courage. This is where we can do the work that will lead us to discover a starting process for life-changing positive results. From my perspective, that is the gate to personal healing. Yes, it is. Growth and fulfillment. Three, be receptive to mindfulness and transformational change. I believe this will allow us to look deeply at our beliefs, thoughts, feelings, emotions, and perceptions. Lastly, ladies and gentlemen, to create a coherent organization of mental processes by improving our emotional intelligence quotient to move beyond our fear, then we can approach letting go. Please note, when I say a coherent organization of mental processes, I'm not talking about the illusion of I know or the attribute of codependency. What I am talking about the work or doing the work that will liberate us from guilt, doing the work that will liberate us from harmful shame and remove the unhealthy conflicts that prevent us from being receptive to the attributes of radical forgiveness. I believe it is through this kind of insight that we can begin the process of approaching the work of letting go. And the courage to take the steps to forgiveness and letting go. Yes, this is the last question, okay? Last question. What will I consider as some of the basic steps to forgiveness and letting go? What are the basic steps? All right. And wouldn't it be great if we could simply say, I'm letting go, I'm forgiving, I forgive you, I'm letting go, and be free of emotional pain and suffering, continuously experiencing by continue to live past negative events, regardless of whether these were created by us or others. Nevertheless, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to share with you the basic steps that have shown, from my perspective, great success when it comes to forgiveness and letting go. One, there must be the intention to let go. Yes, the intention. There must be the intention that we need to be perfectly clear, that is, where your intention is to let go and forgive. I said again, there must be the intention to let go. You must be perfectly clear on that. Two, the heartfelt decision. Once you have made this heartfelt decision to let go, this process works best when you step out of your thinking state patterns and use a tool that will help you to relax, to meditate. Three, My favorite one, the feeling of love in your heart. See, while in the state of relaxation, while you're in a state of meditated state, create the feeling of love in your heart. You can do this by bringing to mind someone that fills your heart with love, true love, and reliable happiness. So you must reframe your thinking. You got to think differently. We learn to reframe it, especially about the negative situation or person. Lastly, radically forgive and let go. Understand that you cannot be responsible for the action of others as well. Only yourself, my friends. You are choosing to be free from emotional pain, remember? Yes, I understand. This is just simply basic steps. That is, if you truly want to become the healthiest possible version of yourself, you want to achieve optimal health, personal freedom, and more, you will want to have access to the tools that will help you to radically remove conflicts that prevent you from healing the emotional pain of the past. On the final analysis, we all have the freedom to choose. Yes, this is your freedom. Now you can choose to hold on to old negative memories, which the ego uses to keep control, or we can choose to do the work that is required to let go and realize our emotional well-being is greatly affected when we refuse to let go. Ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to contact me for a complimentary consultation on letting go. You can do that to my life coaching website at windsorlendo.com. I also trust you will consider accepting this recording as one exclusive invitation to choose the pathway that will inspire you to bring healing to the wounded parts of your being. And there you can start the process of freeing yourself from constantly re-experiencing the emotional pain from the past by letting go. From this end, from the beautiful weather of Monterey, California, that is true wisdom. So for now, may each one of you find a means to open yourself to an unwavering commitment to let go of all the misunderstandings. Allow the freshness of the attributes of creative courage manifest in each one of you throughout your life. So thank you for listening and be well.